Standing still won't give you clarity. Sitting in fear won't hand you a roadmap. Overthinking won't create progress. The truth is, if you wait until you have every answer before you move, you'll never take the first step. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards action. It rewards those who are willing to take a step forward, even when they don't know exactly where the road leads. It honors those who trust that the path will reveal itself as they walk. You have been conditioned to believe that certainty is a prerequisite for movement, that unless you have a guarantee, a foolproof strategy, a perfect plan, you have no business stepping out. But that's a lie. It's fear disguised as logic, because the reality is no one ever has all the answers at the start. Not the dreamers, not the innovators, not the leaders who have changed history. They all begin with the vision and the willingness to figure things out along the way. You don't need all the answers to begin. You need faith. You need resilience. You need the audacity to believe that what is unclear today will become evident as you take action. Think about it. Every great breakthrough happened because someone was willing to start before they had it all figured out. The entrepreneur who built an empire, the artist who created a masterpiece, the leader who pioneered a movement. None of them had a perfect strategy before they began. They moved despite their doubts. They acted in the face of uncertainty. They took risks, adjusted as they went, and trusted that the process would guide them. But too many people stay stuck. They wait for clarity that never comes. They let fear masquerade as wisdom, convincing them that staying still is the safer option. But safety is an illusion. The only real danger is remaining stagnant, allowing opportunities to pass you by while you search for an answer that can only be found in motion. Clarity is not a prerequisite. It is a reward. And the only way to earn it is through action. So what are you waiting for? The perfect time? It doesn't exist. The right conditions, they will never be just right. The validation of others, you don't need it. The only thing standing between you and the life you are meant to live is the belief that you have to know everything before you begin. Let go of that lie. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need to begin. Fear is a master of deception. It knows how to take a small doubt and turn it into a mountain. It knows how to whisper uncertainty in the silence of the night, making your dreams seem impossible. It feeds off hesitation, magnifies risk, and convinces you that you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. But let me tell you something. Fear may thrive on uncertainty, but it does not own you. Faith does. Faith sees the same unknown, the same uncertainty, the same risk, and steps forward anyway. Fear is not just an emotion. It's a force that holds you hostage. It whispers lies that sound like wisdom. Wait until you're ready. Make sure it's the right time. What if you fail? But let me tell you something. The right time will never come. The readiness you're waiting for will never arrive, because the moment you get close, fear will move the goalposts. It will convince you that you need just a little more preparation, just a little more validation, just a little more certainty. But faith doesn't negotiate with fear. Faith walks forward when nothing makes sense. Faith moves in the dark, trusting that the light will meet it along the way. Faith doesn't need certainty. It needs courage. It needs action. It needs you to decide that where you are now is not where you're meant to stay. Let's talk about certainty, because too many people worship it. They won't move unless they have a guarantee. They won't step unless they see the full path. But life does not come with guarantees. Life is built in uncertainty. Everything you want, your dreams, your purpose, your destiny, exists beyond the limits of certainty. Think about the greats. Think about the people who changed the world. Did they wait until they had all the answers? Did they stand still until the entire plan was laid out? No. They moved despite their doubts. They took steps when others hesitated. They walked by faith, not by sight. And because of that, they saw doors open that no one else could see. Fear has a way of making you believe you're safe when you're really just stuck. It tells you that standing still is better than moving forward into the unknown. But let me ask you, how long have you been waiting? How long have you been standing on the edge of your breakthrough, too afraid to take the leap? How many dreams have you talked yourself out of because fear convinced you that the unknown was more dangerous than staying the same? Let me tell you something. Staying in the same place is the most dangerous thing you can do, because while your waiting time is passing, while you're hesitating, opportunities are fading. While you're overthinking, the life you were meant to live is slipping away. Fear won't just keep you where you are. It will rob you of everything you were meant to be. Faith is not about seeing, it's about believing. It's about knowing deep in your soul that what's ahead is worth the risk. It's about understanding that every great thing begins with uncertainty. Think about the times in your life when you didn't have all the answers, but you moved anyway. Maybe it was stepping into a new job, starting a new relationship, taking a chance on yourself. Maybe you were terrified. Maybe you had no idea how it would turn out. But looking back, you realize that if you had let fear win, you would have missed out on something incredible. And that's exactly how life works. The greatest blessings come wrapped in uncertainty. The biggest breakthroughs come through doors that looked impossible to walk through. And the only way to reach them is by faith. So here's the question: what are you going to choose? Are you going to let fear keep you bound, or are you going to walk forward in faith? Are you going to wait for certainty, or are you going to trust that what you need will meet you along the way? Because the truth is, fear will always be there. It will always whisper. It will always try to hold you back, but it only wins if you let it. Faith doesn't promise easy. Faith doesn't promise immediate results, but faith does promise movement. And movement is what creates change. Movement is what leads to breakthroughs. Movement is what takes you from where you are to where you're meant to be. So today I challenge you, stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop giving fear the final say. Take the step, make the move, trust that what's ahead is greater than what's behind, because fear thrives on uncertainty, but faith moves anyway. And if you keep moving, if you keep trusting, if you keep believing, one day you'll look back and realize that fear never had power. The only power it had was the power you gave it. And when you took that back, that's when everything changed. Move, walk, trust. Because faith will take you where fear never could. Every great achievement started with uncertainty. Every breakthrough, every moment of transformation, every time someone stepped into something greater than themselves, it all started with a moment where they weren't sure, where they didn't have all the answers, where the path ahead looked unclear, the destination was unknown, and fear whispered, maybe you should wait. Maybe this isn't for you. But waiting does not create success. Hesitation does not lead to progress. The world has never been changed by people who needed to know exactly how every detail would unfold before they moved. The world has been changed by people who were willing to move despite the uncertainty, who were willing to take a step when they couldn't see the full staircase, who chose faith over fear, who understood that every great thing begins in a place of unknowns. Look around you. Every invention, every innovation, every success story began in the mind of someone who did not have all the answers, someone who was unsure, who faced doubt, who questioned if they were enough, if they were capable, if they had what it took. But the difference between them and the ones who never moved was simple. They started anyway. They moved when it was uncomfortable. They moved when they were afraid. They moved when every voice around them said it's too risky. They moved because deep down they knew staying the same was the greatest risk of all. The greatest moments of your life will not come wrapped in certainty. They will not come when you feel fully prepared, fully ready, fully equipped. They will come in the moments where everything in you says, I don't know if I can do this, and you choose to do it anyway. They will come in the moments where fear tells you to wait and you decide to walk. They will come when uncertainty is the loudest, but your faith is stronger. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who built something from nothing, the ones who overcame obstacles that should have taken them out, the ones who refused to settle for an average life. Do you think they had a perfect roadmap when they started? Do you think they had guarantees? No. What they had was the courage to try, the boldness to begin, the willingness to walk into the unknown, believing that even if they didn't have all the answers, they would find them along the way. But too often we let uncertainty stop us. We think, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have what it takes? And instead of moving, we freeze. Instead of stepping, we wait. Instead of building, we hold back, convinced that if we just wait long enough, clarity will come. That one day we will wake up and suddenly have all the answers. But let me tell you something, that day will never come. There will never be a moment where everything feels certain, where every fear disappears, where every doubt vanishes. Because the truth is, clarity comes from movement. Confidence is built through action. The answers you are waiting for will only come after you begin. So what are you waiting for? What dream have you been holding inside, waiting for the perfect moment? What vision have you been carrying, afraid to take the first step because you don't know how it will all work out? What calling have you been ignoring, convincing yourself that you need to have all the details before you start? Let me remind you, every great achievement started with uncertainty. Every life-changing decision was made in a moment of doubt. Every person who has ever accomplished something extraordinary had 1,000 reasons to wait, to hesitate, to delay, but they moved anyway. And you can too. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to see the full picture. You don't need to be certain of every step before you take the first one. You just need to decide that where you are now is not where you are meant to stay. You just need to trust that what is ahead is greater than what is behind. You just need to understand that fear will always be there, but it does not have to control you, because fear will tell you to wait. Fear will tell you to play it safe. Fear will tell you to stay where it's comfortable. But nothing great was ever built in comfort zones. Nothing life-changing ever happened in places of ease. Growth happens in the stretch. Transformation happens in the risk. Purpose is found in the unknown. And that's where you need to go, into the unknown, into the uncertainty, into the place where fear tries to hold you back, but faith pushes you forward, into the space where you don't have all the answers, but you move anyway. Because that's where your next level is waiting. That's where your breakthrough begins. That's where the person you are meant to be is waiting for you to show up. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop letting uncertainty steal your destiny. You are not meant to stay stuck. You are not meant to live in fear. You are not meant to spend your life wondering what if. You are meant to move. You are meant to step. You are meant to walk forward, even when you don't know what's ahead, trusting that what you need will meet you along the way. Every great achievement started with uncertainty. Every great life began in a place of doubt. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one had all the answers and the other didn't. It's that one moved and the other stayed still. And today you get to choose which one you will be. Will you let uncertainty hold you back, or will you let faith push you forward? Will you wait for clarity that will never come, or will you trust that the answers will reveal themselves as you walk? Will you look back one day and say, I wish I had tried, or will you look back and say, I'm so glad I did? The choice is yours. The future is yours, but you must move. You must decide. You must step into the unknown with boldness, with courage, with faith, because fear will always have a reason for you to wait. But faith will take you places fear never could. Faith will open doors hesitation never will. Faith will lead you to a life beyond anything you could have imagined. So go, move, start, because every great achievement started with uncertainty. And if you are feeling uncertain, if you are feeling unsure, if you are wondering if you are ready, that means you are exactly where you need to be. That means you are on the edge of something incredible. That means your moment is now. Don't waste it. Don't let it pass. Don't wait for clarity that will never come. Step forward, take the risk, trust the journey, because everything you are meant to become is waiting for you on the other side of uncertainty. Trust the process. The road meets you when you walk. That's the truth you need to hold on to. That's the reality you must embrace if you ever want to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. The problem is too many people want the map before they move. They want the guarantee before they commit. They want every detail neatly laid out before they take the first step. But that's not how destiny works. That's not how faith works. That's not how breakthroughs are born. You're standing still, waiting for clarity. You're waiting for all the answers to be given to you in advance. You want to see the whole road before you take the first step. But let me tell you something. The road does not reveal itself to those who wait. It reveals itself to those who walk. It appears to those who trust enough to move forward, even when they can't see the whole picture. That's the process. That's the journey. And if you refuse to trust it, you will never arrive at the destination you were meant for. How many dreams have you let slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to start? How many doors have you refused to walk through because you weren't sure what was on the other side? How many opportunities have passed you by because you convinced yourself that you weren't ready? The truth is, you will never feel fully ready. You will never have every answer. You will never have absolute certainty. But if you trust the process, if you believe that the road will meet you when you walk, you will come to understand that everything you need is already inside you. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows in delay. It feeds on your doubts. But faith moves despite the uncertainty. Faith walks when fear whispers, what if you fail? Faith keeps going when doubt says you're not good enough. Faith trusts the process even when the process feels uncomfortable, even when it's unpredictable, even when it stretches you beyond what you thought you could endure. Some of you are looking at the road ahead and saying, I don't know how I'm going to make it. Some of you are standing at the edge of something new, afraid to step forward because you can't see what's coming next. But let me tell you, your job is not to know every detail. Your job is not to control the outcome. Your job is to take the step. Your job is to trust that when you move, the road will appear beneath your feet. The right people will show up. The right opportunities will come. The right doors will open. But none of that happens if you refuse to move. The process may not make sense while you're in it. It may stretch you in ways you didn't expect. It may test your patience, your resilience, your belief in yourself. But every great thing, every breakthrough, every transformation requires a process. And if you run from the process, you run from the promise. If you resist the process, you delay the progress. If you refuse the process, you forfeit the blessing that was waiting for you on the other side. Stop looking for an easy way. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop convincing yourself that you need to have it all figured out before you begin. You don't. You just need to start. You just need to trust. You just need to take one step and then another, because as you walk, the road will rise to meet you. As you move, the way will become clear. As you trust the process, you will realize that everything you were waiting for was waiting for you to move. So take the step, walk in faith, trust that the road will meet you when you walk, and watch how everything shifts in your favor. Your breakthrough lies beyond hesitation. That moment you keep waiting for, that shift you've been praying for, that transformation you long to see, it is on the other side of the hesitation you are allowing to hold you back. That hesitation, it is fear disguised as logic. It is doubt wrapped up in the illusion of needing more time. It is uncertainty pretending to be wisdom. And if you keep letting it run your life, you will find yourself stuck in a cycle of delay, watching opportunities pass you by, wondering why nothing is changing. Hesitation is the gap between where you are and where you are meant to be. It is the space between the life you have now and the life you were created to live. But here's the thing about that space. It only exists if you allow it to. You think you're waiting for a sign, for more information, for the right time, but the truth is you're waiting for a feeling that will never come. You're waiting for certainty in a world where certainty does not exist. You're waiting for comfort in a process that requires discomfort. You're waiting for fear to disappear before you move, but fear does not vanish. It is conquered through action. You don't need more time to decide. You don't need more confirmation. You don't need every single detail figured out. What you need is to stop hesitating and move. What you need is to stop rehearsing the reasons why you can't and start believing in the reason you must. Because every second you hesitate, you are reinforcing the lie that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that you are not enough. But let me tell you something. If the vision was placed inside you, it is because you are the one meant to carry it out. If the opportunity presented itself, it is because you are ready to step into it. If the door opened, it is because you are meant to walk through it. The only thing left for you to do is stop hesitating and take the step. Your hesitation is not protecting you. It is not keeping you safe. It is not ensuring that you make the right choice. It is keeping you trapped in a place you have already outgrown. It is keeping you small when you were meant to be great. It is keeping you in a cycle of almost, of maybe, of one day when today is calling your name. You think you need more time, but what you really need is to trust yourself. You think you need more clarity, but what you really need is to take the first step and let clarity find you in the process. You think you need to feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. How many more days will you allow to pass before you choose to believe that you are enough? How many more moments will you waste waiting for permission that will never come? How many more times will you let hesitation rob you of the life you were meant to live? Because every time you choose hesitation over action, you are choosing delay over destiny. Every time you choose hesitation over movement, you are choosing fear over faith. Every time you choose hesitation over obedience, you are choosing bondage over breakthrough. Your breakthrough is waiting, but it will not come to you. It will not arrive wrapped in ease, delivered by certainty, handed to you without effort. It will require you to move before you see it. It will demand that you step into the unknown, that you walk even when you don't know exactly where the path will lead. It will require you to believe in yourself before you see the results, because the results come after the movement, not before. The transformation comes after the obedience, not before. The clarity comes after the step, not before. What you are looking for is not behind you. It is not in the safety of what you already know. It is not in the comfort of what is familiar. It is ahead of you, waiting for you to stop hesitating and go get it. It is on the other side of the fear you keep feeding. It is beyond the excuses you keep repeating. It is past the limits you have placed on yourself. And when you finally decide to step, when you finally choose movement over hesitation, you will realize that what you were afraid of was never as powerful as you thought it was. You will realize that the fear that kept you bound had no real power except the power you gave it. You will realize that hesitation was only a habit, not a reality. And when you break that habit, you will walk into everything you were meant to be. So stop hesitating. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop looking for another excuse to stay the same. Your breakthrough is waiting. Your next level is waiting. Your transformation is waiting, but it will not wait forever. It will not sit around while you overthink your way into stagnation. It will move on, and someone else will step into what was meant for you. And one day you will look back and wonder what would have happened if you had just moved, if you had just believed, if you had just refused to let hesitation win. Don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your reality, because the truth is everything you need is already inside you. The strength, the wisdom, the ability, it is already there. You just need to trust it. You just need to use it. You just need to take the first step, knowing that every step after that will be revealed in time. You will never feel ready. You will never have all the answers. You will never eliminate fear completely, but you can decide that fear will not control you. You can decide that hesitation will not define you. You can decide that today, right now, you will move, because on the other side of hesitation is your breakthrough. On the other side of hesitation is your transformation. On the other side of hesitation is the life you were created to live, and it is waiting for you to show up. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep hesitating, keep questioning, keep doubting yourself? Are you going to step? Are you going to move? Are you going to trust that everything you need will meet you along the way? The choice is yours, but know this: your breakthrough will not come to you. You must go to it. And the only way to get there is to stop hesitating and start moving, because hesitation is not your protector. It is your prison, and freedom is waiting on the other side. You already have everything you need to take the next step. The enemy of progress is not a lack of resources, not a lack of opportunity, not even a lack of support. The enemy of progress is the belief that you are not enough, the belief that something is missing, the belief that you need more before you can move. But let me tell you something, you already have everything you need. That vision inside you, that fire, that calling, that urge to do something greater, to step into something bigger, that is proof that you are ready. That is confirmation that you have been equipped. That is evidence that the time is now. But hesitation will tell you otherwise. Fear will whisper that you are unprepared. Doubt will convince you that you need to wait to gather more, to be more. And if you believe those lies, you will stay stuck waiting for something that has already been given to you. You don't need more validation. You don't need more signs. You don't need someone to come and tell you that it's your time. It is already your time. It has been your time. The only thing left is for you to believe it, to own it, to step into it, because the next step is not waiting on more clarity. It is waiting on your courage. The next step is not waiting on the perfect conditions. It is waiting on your commitment. The next step is not waiting on external confirmation. It is waiting on your internal decision. You keep saying, I'm not ready. But what if readiness is not about having it all figured out? What if readiness is simply about deciding to trust yourself? What if readiness is about recognizing that everything you need has already been placed inside you, because it has the wisdom, it's in you. The strength, it's in you. The ability, it's in you. And the moment you stop doubting what has already been given to you is the moment you will start walking into everything that has been waiting for you. You have been delaying for too long. You have been questioning for too long. You have been searching for something that is already in your hands. What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? There is no permission slip coming. There is no perfect moment arriving. There is no magic sign appearing in the sky. The sign is that you woke up today. The confirmation is that you are still here. The proof is that the vision hasn't left you. So why are you still hesitating? If you could see what is on the other side of your obedience, you would stop making excuses. If you could see the doors that will open when you take the first step, you would stop doubting yourself. If you could see the lives that will be changed because of your courage, you would stop waiting. But faith means walking even when you can't see. Faith means trusting that what you need will meet you along the way. Faith means moving forward even when fear is screaming for you to stop. You already have everything you need. You already are everything you need to be. The only thing left is for you to act like it. The only thing left is for you to trust yourself enough to move. So take the step. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop delaying. Your destiny is not waiting on more resources. It is waiting on your decision. Your next level is not waiting on better circumstances. It is waiting on your belief. The next chapter of your life is not waiting on someone else's approval. It is waiting on you. The door is already open. The way is already made. The only question is, will you walk through it? Will you trust that what is inside you is enough? Will you believe that you are already equipped? Will you move even when you don't have all the answers? Because if you do, if you trust, if you step, you will see that everything you have been looking for has been inside you all along. And when you finally step forward, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust that you are already enough, you will realize that the path was never about certainty. It was about faith, about courage, and about becoming everything you were always meant to be.